Welcome to another episode of Sisters in Conversation. I'm your host, Debelo Motshwane. I'm an attorney by profession and the founder of a platform called Sister in Law, which is a platform dedicated to empowering women through legal education. On today's episode, I'm joined again by Manaileng Maphike, who is now the founder and managing director of Maphike Attorneys Incorporated, right?
Yes.
Okay. Welcome back to the show, Manaileng. It's so good to have you in person.
Thank you so much. And I'm happy to be here in person instead of over the phone and Teams.
COVID did a number on us. So.
It did.
But it feels like I know you in real life.
You know, I think we see each other so much on the
Instagram.
socials and on the socials, we feel like it's familiar because I was telling my team, I was like, I've actually never met Debelo in real life, but I feel like
you
we
and I
interact.
do the same things.
We do. And know the same people. It's actually pretty crazy.
I think that is pretty interesting. You know, how social media can actually just bring us worlds together, like a lot closer than we would have ever been if this was the first time meeting.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So without repeating too much of what you shared with us 5 years ago, 5 years ago, I know a lot has happened.
Yeah.
You've now moved back to practice. But let's start at the beginning. Who is Manaileng? Tell us a little bit about your upbringing and how you got into law.
Okay, so Manaileng Maphike, this is who I am. I'm an attorney practicing within the entertainment, media, commercial, and IP law space. And, you know, Manaileng, grew up in Soweto, Deep Blue girl, grew up in Rockville with my grandparents and Dube, so Soweto through and through with both my grandparents. And yeah, so got into law. You know, I always love telling the story because I think it's such a cute little story.
Yeah.
I was, watching the news with because the only TV we were allowed to watch back in the day with my family was the news.
Good.
So when we were younger. So I was watching the news with my dad and my granddad. So I remember at my grandfather's house watching with my dad and my granddad. And I just saw this lady standing there wearing a wig and a robe at the court. And I was just like, I want to do that. What is that? So I said, I want to do that. My dad was like, do you know what that is? I was like, no, but all I know is I want to do that. And then he explained it to me, explained what it is, what it entails. And I think from that day on, they just really encouraged me. I'd go to random court with my dad. I think the support was really amazing.
Yeah.
I don't want to even lie. So he would take me to court. We'd go and sit at the back in the gallery and just watch so he could see if I was really interested. But they really honed that. And I'm here today because of that contribution.
I like that. It shows that we've always been manifesting. We just didn't have a
the
term.
word. Yeah.
We hadn't coined the term
Absolutely.
yet.
I
But
mean, I guess we're also too young to know manifestation.
Right.
Yeah.
But I also don't know if our parents knew that that's what it was. But clearly there was some kind of understanding that, you know what, if I just continue supporting her on this journey, then one day we could see it come to pass.
Absolutely.
So I love that support.
I'm not sure if it was something else that would have been as encouraging. If I said I wanted to be a singer, I don't know if you'd have taken me there,
I think,
So I think it's the aura and the siriti, for lack of a better word, that comes with, oh, this person is a lawyer, this person's an accountant. So I think they were also like, okay, great. She's not going the arty route, but to their disappointment.
No, I think also, Black parents have come a long way
Absolutely.
in learning and unlearning that there are so many, avenues that exist. And even though you're not a singer, you're still in the space right now,
Absolutely.
But as an attorney
Absolutely.
in entertainment law. So I think now that we're here, tell us a little bit about, your role as an entertainment law practitioner.
Sure. It is such a far-reaching. It is so wide. It encompasses so many elements. Because of my strong commercial background as well, it helped a lot in terms of me getting into the space and understanding the basics of contracts, because that is a lot of what we deal with. We do a lot of contractual work, negotiating a lot of deals on behalf of our clients, also drafting the contracts on behalf of our clients. So no one day is the same. I don't want to lie, because one minute you've got a client that you've been working with and doing work for, in a branding and influencer role, and the next day they're in court for a criminal matter, and now you're helping them with that because they've got the confidence and they believe in you and they trust that you'll give them the best. So that's what I'm saying. It's just really no one day is the same. Next thing you're drafting defamation letters. Next thing you're drafting a media complaint, a press complaint to the press ombud. Next thing is a press statement because something is happening. So there's a lot of different moving parts. So, I mean, the beauty of it is that it takes a lot of different elements of the law and puts it all into one and bundles it, So even from a copyright perspective, trademarks, these are the kind of things that we also deal with on a daily, weekly basis. So it really is everything and anything that is relating to your client, which is the entertainer, which is the artist, be it a production company, all different types of scopes, because we do both music, television, and film. So it's not just, and also visual artists and, across the board. So that's why we call ourselves, lawyers for the creative industry.
Yeah.
And we also call ourselves cultural diplomats because of the fact that over and above doing the legal stuff, we also have a lot of stakeholder relationships where we're assisting with exporting the genre of Amapiano just outside of the legal scope.
That,
so
yes.
it's a lot. We do a lot.
Sure, that is interesting. So how did you find your way back to practice? Because I know you had also you were doing a lot of consulting before starting your firm. I think it's Teletata, ne?
Yes.
How did you find your way back to practice?
Sure. The crazy thing is that when I was during the pandemic, I did a crazy thing and decided I'm going to quit my job at the time, because I was just like, if I die and I'm sitting on my deathbed, I'm going to be very unhappy with myself for not doing the things that I wanted to do and taking the risks on myself and taking a chance on myself. So then resuscitated the consultancy because it had been there since around 2014 or something like so. It's been there for a while, but I'd be on and off, in-house, go back into practice, work for somebody else, went and worked at SAMRO, left, so it was always like a, 1 foot in, 1 foot out, getting a bit nervous. Then I'm like, I need the comfort of that paycheck. And,
I mean, look, I need it today, 8 years later.
I still need it. I need it today. I still need it. Okay. But we're building, so I understand, you know. So I went and I consulted at another law firm, so I was assisting them. So I ran the consultancy, but I was doing commercial stuff, strictly commercial, assisting with trademarks and copyright advisory, etc. Then I realized that a lot of my clients were asking me to help them with litigation. And as you know, as a consultant, you can't litigate, in as much as I'm an admitted attorney, but I'm not operating as such. So I then went and consulted at another law firm. And I was just like, no, but I'm doing all this work.
Exactly.
I am building the profile of another law firm in the entertainment space. Why am I not doing this for myself? Because I'm already working for myself.
Right.
So let's just do this. And the crazy thing is that I'd already registered the Maphike attorney's name on CIPC in 2017, but I only really started practicing. I parked it, and 2022, the 2nd of February 2022, then we hit the ground running with Maphike attorneys.
Sure. And what have been some of the exciting moments you've experienced under this new umbrella?
Sure. I think the type of work that we're doing, we're exposed to so much that when we're doing the consultancy work, we still were exposed, but I think there's an added confidence that people have when it's a law firm. So I think the kind of work and the rooms that we're in, the people that we're speaking to, that we're engaging with, and the fact that people call us, I always say this because I think it's really a blessing that people call us and we don't ever have to call anyone, hey girl, we're doing this, please tell your friends, tell your family. We always get the calls, we get the recommendations and the referrals. And sometimes we're sitting there, we're like, wait, what do you mean though? What? Who's calling? Are you sure? Please expect, get a text from somebody. Please expect a call from this person. I'm like, are you sure? Me,
Sure.
So those kind of things have been amazing. I think traveling, we've been traveling extensively with the firm and doing work, like I said, in addition to the actual legal work, but it all always ties in and ties back to the legal. We've been traveling a lot. Last year was a heavy travel year.
Can't believe you left me when you went to Miami.
Ma'am, it is what it is.
Yeah, continue.
It is what it is. Next time we're in it together. So I think those kind of things, travel. I never imagined that I'd be going to Miami because of
Oh,
law
work,
of
ne?
I imagine that I would be an international attorney, internationally acclaimed and doing the work, but not so soon after,
And not
getting
under
back
your
into it. Not
name,
under my
right?
name, you know what I mean? So
love
I mean,
that.
previously I'd done it, we'd gone to Kenya, done work in Kenya for various types of parties, but under someone else. But now I'm like, oh, me, that imposter syndrome, like, why me? But it's like, why not?
Why not? I love that. Why not? And what have been the lows? Because I think, it's
Invoice.
important that we also address
Yo,
those moments that
wanna-
really make you question and doubt whether you're in the right field,
Yeah.
whether you're doing the right thing.
Yeah.
Whether you must wake up tomorrow.
Invoices, guys, yo.
Yo, skhala sibaningi.
Yo, invoices. I think with entrepreneurship comes challenges across
Yeah.
the board. And for me, the challenges come in the running of the business versus it being about the work. I mean, there are quiet months and there are quiet days and quiet weeks, but they're not really quiet in that there is work. So when you start off, maybe let me give also a bit of a background. When we started off, we literally hit the ground running.
Yeah.
We were always busy. There was never a moment where I could be like, woosa and breathe. We were always busy. So this year I've also found that it started off a bit more slower, but still busy. And I was just like, why is this so slow? Why have things slowed down? And then I realized, oh wait, things have slowed down because you actually have people that you've hired.
I was going to say,
that are
isn't it
working.
because of human
You know what I
resources?
mean? You know what I mean?
Yes,
Now
yes.
you've got resources, and it's
Yeah.
like, okay, but with resources means I have to manage people.
Yeah.
So managing people is very difficult. They know I'm always like, guys, so managing people is difficult, and just collecting the invoices and making sure that you are going to pay your people that you've got on board. So I think that's always been the difficult and the trickiest and the lows of the lows. And I mean, I think that's about it. And also my own imposter syndrome. Like I said, sometimes I feel like, am I really supposed to be here? Like,
and
but
isn't
I
it
overcome
more when
it.
you're isn't it intensified when you're managing people, because they come to ask you if this thing is right, and you're like, wait, why are you asking me? like
why are you asking me everything? No, I was on the drive here, and Nkare, you were in the car with us. On the drive here, I was just like, guys, I can't do everything. I can't be everything to everyone. I promise. I wish I could have 10 of me, but luckily I think I've hired somebody who could be another me. So we're building on all of that, so which is wonderful. But it is tough. I think people, you don't get prepared for, you decide, I want to run a business. I want to be this entrepreneur. I want this law firm. Then you realize I have to hire people. Then you hire people and realize, okay, wait, I have the skills of having managed people who are my juniors in other capacities, but not as a practitioner, as an attorney who's running their own law firm, their own practice. And now I have to take into account that I'm running a practice. There's business development elements. There's the actual drafting, the legal work, and then there's the people management. So it's always so difficult. But hey, we're soldiering on. We're trying as much as possible to be good at managing the people, so you don't have terrible relationships with the people that work with you.
But also it's also very it's difficult generally being a woman boss. We know that it comes with on top of managing people, you also have to make sure that if it were a man managing these people, it would probably be a little easier, or you know the nuances I'm talking about, right?
I know them well.
that it's sometimes like, okay, I don't want to be mean, because then when you're a woman, you're the B word.
Absolutely, the toxic, because
the toxic boss.
I always tell them, I'm like, I'll send, because I work all hours of the day, of the night.
I've seen you and I text each other
like very late, 2:00. You're like, why are you not sleeping?
I've seen that.
So I'll text, and I'll just have to say, please don't deal with it now. Like, deal with it in the morning, because I don't want to be called toxic. I always say, you guys must do the work you're supposed to do, so that now I don't wake up and there's a thread on X about toxic black women bosses. Because it's always toxic black women bosses. Like, no. So, I mean, it is tough, because you also have to watch that. And also, there's a certain aggressiveness that you feel like you have to have in order for you to, kind of exert yourself. But I've since also learned that there's also power in softness. There's also power in being a bit not as harsh, because I have to also speak to myself, okay, remember, you've got X amount of years of experience, so remember that at the back of your
And
mind.
when
Always
all else
that.
fails, you are still the boss.
Oxalai.
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 I love that. And what are some of the challenges that you have tried to alleviate experienced by women in the entertainment industry, Black women in the entertainment industry?
Look, I mean, I'm part of Women in Music South Africa. So it's a chapter of a greater body. It's called Women in Music. It's a global organization started in New York in 1984. And there's chapters across the world. So part of being in that position is that we are advocating for women within the music industry. So I think in my capacity as being a woman in the legal space within entertainment, but I'm also, because I'm immersed in it, then there's a lot of projects that we do. We've got a lot of camps, writing camps, music camps. We've got, panels, we've got workshops. We partner up with other organizations like the Buzzside Music Awards, where we run workshops and panels to assist women, speak about women issues, kind of also bring to the fore what the issues are and see what the solutions are and be part of the solution. I mean, we assisted with SAMRO as well. They had a document that they did on equality for women in the music industry. So we contributed to that. So we're doing I think we're doing significantly a lot. And also we've got, there's the Nigeria chapter and the Tanzania chapter that we're all coming together to kind of create a superpower of women within the music industry, particularly on the African continent. So there's all these relationships that we're also trying to foster, because if I know someone in Nigeria, I know somebody in New York, I know someone in Miami. If you're my client, you've also got the value
network.
of that network. And if you also part of Women in Music, you've got the value of that network. So we're also creating those global networks that you can just pick up the phone and get the advice and information that you can get that you'd have to pay for, but now you're getting it for free from women across the globe. Yeah, absolutely. So I think the networking component is very important. We're also doing a lot of projects where we're giving the live experience. So people who are performers, artists, DJs, producers, etc., who are part of Women in Music, we're also putting them on the platform and creating assets and events and partnering with other events to put them on the stage, because sometimes the stage performance might be an issue because no one teaches you how to perform. You may be able to sing, but can you perform? So those kind of things. And also making the music industry safer for women, and creating a network where women can come together and say, look, Debela, I'm going to a performance on X date, please come with me, so that there's at least a couple of us. I'm not alone. I don't feel vulnerable. I don't feel exposed. Also safety within studios, because generally a studio is a place that's filled with men.
Right.
And now we're trying to create those safe spaces where if you feel uncomfortable, there's people you can call who'll go with you to a studio. So I think it's over and above legal. It's also just for the entertainers. And then from a legal point of view, I'm trying to hire more women, and I want to hire women because that is an important thing. I would love to see more Black women within this space as well, and I'd love in general heading up their own law firms. I always tell my people, I don't necessarily want you guys working here forever, because I think there's growth and progression that is out there for you. Take the skills, get whatever you need to get, and if you need to leave, be merry, so never be married to the idea that, she put me on and I'm here because of her. It's like, no, you're here to get the experience that you need. And if you want to stay great, happy, then we're going for the,
I was going to
we're
say,
going all
I'm
the
going
way.
to tell them to stay.
I don't know if they'll leave yet. I think they're still enjoying it for now.
Yeah. Okay, great. I think you also answered my question. Part of the question was, what would you like to see, in both spaces? What changes would you like to see in the legal industry for Black women and, in the entertainment industry for Black women? If there's one thing that keeps you up at night, in both industries, what is it that you just really like to see change immediately, even though it will still take years of probably lip service and action and all of that?
I think from a legal, I think it speaks to both. I think women issues are the same, whichever industry you're in. I would like to see women not be undermined as much as they are, because you have to prove yourself 100 times over in order for people to believe in you, to buy into you, or you must be co-signed by this man in order for people to then believe you. And the minute this man says, oh, she's not as great as she seems, then all of a sudden they're
There's now
casting
doubt.
doubt on you. So I think I would love for the fact that women be recognized for the brilliance that we actually have, because I can tell you, as women and running my own practice and having worked at a law firm where my former boss, where I started my articles, was very clear. He never hired men. He said he does not believe in hiring men because he says men are bad at admin. And as a lawyer,
Wow.
you have to be brilliant at admin. And he says he's always only worked with women because he found that women are actually better workers. We're better equipped to do the work. And we don't believe that. And I think I would love for us as women as well to believe in ourselves a lot more and know that we're capable of taking over the world and doing whatever we want to do. And the fact that there's also a lot more women who are coming to the fore is testament to that.
Yeah.
But there's still that element of, yeah, you guys are women, you're so emotional, you don't make decisions. And it's like, it's fine to be emotional. Actually, it's fine to have a certain touch of femininity. I don't have to be a man. I don't have to be this tough exterior person for me to do the work that I'm supposed to do. I can be myself, still do the work, be extremely competent, and everybody's satisfied and goes off on their merry way.
Love it. Yo, Nkara, that was the drop mic moment, hey? And as you know, the podcast is really, followed by a lot of students.
Yeah.
Any parting words for students who, probably in their first year of studies and they've just learned about this entertainment law, or somebody who's in their final year of studies and they're like, yo, I don't even know if this is for me. It's just been such a terrible season. Any words of wisdom that you'd like to share with a student who's maybe going through the most today?
Sure. So I think, I wouldn't be here had I not immersed myself outside of the legal space. And I know that everybody always thinks that's weird because generally lawyers are known as the people that sit in the library and are always studying and don't socialize with anyone else but lawyers. But I found myself in a space where I had a lot of friends from different backgrounds and who were doing different things. And some of them weren't even studying, but I knew them and they were already working and started their own businesses, wanted to be in the entertainment industry, were, trying and, trying things out. And I think it's important for you to be a whole person.
Yeah,
be a
sure.
complete person.
I love
you
that.
need to think out of the box, and because part of being a lawyer requires you to think out of the box. You have to look at a document and come up with the solution even when there's
And
no
be
solution, and be
creative,
creative about it. So I think it's important for people not to be too typecast and sitting in in the law library there and only sitting in the law library and only thinking about, now I just want to apply law of persons, and once I'm done with law of persons I'll be happy. But think about, what do you want to do? Where do you see yourself? Already plan for it, because you need to know what you want to do in order for you to know which direction to take. If you know that you love a certain area, I've always known I love the entertainment and music and media and all of this, and people always used to think I was a stylist. At some point someone thought I was a stylist, they thought I was a PR. People
I
think
love
I'm everything
that.
but a lawyer until they find out. But now they know, because now it's something that a lot of people always lead with, that oh yeah, this is my lawyer, or this is the girl who was telling about the lawyer. This is, so now they know, because now being the lawyer has become the brand element of it. I don't like that word. I don't know why, but it's become the brand element of it. So, but before, people didn't know. So I immersed myself in different areas of the entertainment industry, had friends in different areas of the entertainment industry, and I told them, some of them I told them they would know what I did, and I said, I'm studying to be a lawyer. I'm actually a law student, or I'm a lawyer. And they'll say, okay, please have a look at my contract and just see if it's okay. I was just like, I don't practice in this space. I don't know this, but I learned, it was on the job training.
I love
per
that,
se,
yeah.
because there's no course. I don't know now, when I started, there was no course in entertainment law. So I had to take everything and anything that encompasses all of the elements that make up this, what we then term entertainment
Law, sure.
But I would say to them, just really identify what you like. But at the same time, you might like the entertainment space, but you might not necessarily want to practice within the entertainment
Right,
space,
yeah.
because that's not where you're good at. Because some people might really be good with other areas of the law and not necessarily the entertainment space, or you want to have fun within the entertainment space, not necessarily have fun and work and, you know, sleeping where you're also, you know, enjoying your life. It's like, you know, you don't want to do that. So I think I would just say, figure out what you want to do, identify it. Once you've identified it, then speak about it. Because the more you speak about it, the more people know what you want to do, and you create a community. And once you create a community, that community is going to vouch for you and speak for you in rooms that you're not in. So you're sitting there, minding your own business at home, and somebody's like, but Tebelo said she actually liked doing this. Let me give her a call and see if this is something she'd be keen on. But if you're quiet and no one knows, then that's not going to happen for you. So I think also be confident in what you want to do. And it's okay to try new things and they don't work out. You should always start again.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong. I was saying to the makeup artist today, she's like, oh, I don't want to make a mistake. I'm like, it's fine. You can start again. I believe in starting again.
You really can.
You can start again 100 times over. I can decide in 10 years, I'm not interested in this. I want to go and study and be an accountant. You know, I could wake up and decide to do that, and it's okay.
Your accounting.
Yeah, I know. I would never.
I'm just like, okay, so that would never be me.
Ever.
Oh, Manaileng, thank you so much. Thank you so much for having this conversation with us today. I do believe that everything you've shared is invaluable, you know, and it will definitely be able to impact someone's life in a positive manner. Thank you for the work that you do in the entertainment space, in the legal space as well.
Thank you very much for having me, and congratulations on 5 years. That is a huge, huge feat. A lot of people don't reach 5 years in this type of, you know, podcasting industry and space. So a big congratulations to you too, and thank you for having me.
Thank
you.
you.
I really hope that I did help somebody out there.
Thank you. Wonderful. You at home, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Until next time, bye.